Alright, time now is 2:21 p.m. on August 9th. Yeah, I slept from 5 a.m. to 2 a.m. with no interruptions. No interruptions. I slept completely fine all the freaking way, which was really nice. I had a dream where I was, I think, yeah, I think I had a dream where I was in some sort of dream world, and then I woke up, or maybe I went back to Hong Kong, and my mom was tending to me, and I had some food. There were three food items. There was a salad, and then there was a sandwich, and there was some fried noodles. But I was so sleepy, and I slept on my bed, and it was the bed in my old bedroom, but it felt different. And then I told my mom, please don't finish those food for me. They're really important. And then I also showed my mom a documentary for Film 33, but it's Zach drinking alcohol and talking about how on the last day he went to some location to pick up some stuff, and then like it's like a mess. And then my mom's like, you know, just delete it. My mom doesn't know that it's important. And I'm like, oh, please, please, please don't. Like, this is only a part of the documentary. Like, there's so much more. And then I dreamed about three ordinary people, but they were like superheroes in the past life, and they were like swinging around in the air. It's really weird, and they sort of imagine themselves to be swinging around the air, but they're not. Okay, but anyways, today is gonna be a chill day. I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna go to Ralph's. Um, and I don't think I have a roommate. I think yesterday morning was a false alarm. I don't think I have a roommate. So yeah, all that. I wish it was a hot Asian girl. Still stands. I don't know, but I think they're gonna go for a new roommate will move in September, kind of thing. So I'm gonna leave first before anyone comes in. Okay, well, well, well. Um, I actually today's actually not gonna be a chill day. I think because last night I thought there's no way I'm going to film set tomorrow because I haven't even received a call sheet. Turns out the call sheet came in at 6:30 a.m. At 6:30 a.m. And the call time is 4:30 p.m. So literally 2 hours from now. I don't know how the fuck will that work. And the film location is LMU parking lot. What? So it's really weird, and they're not using any sort of app or like a Google Doc for the call sheet. I think it's really confusing. I thought they're AFI. I thought they're super professional. Or is this the professional standard? I can't really tell. So I have no idea what the fuck to do. They're not arranging carpool for me. They're not arranging any carpool for me. Um, Holy crap. Oh, there we go. There is a call sheet. There we go. Day 12/24. There we go. Let's look at the people. So I don't know. I think I'm going. I just need someone to drive me there though. All right, time now is 3:57. I've never been this productive in like a whole week. I woke up, immediately made breakfast, immediately filmed a review, immediately edited, and I'm uploading it right now. All within the span of like less than 2 hours, which is crazy. Usually that takes me about 4 hours because I would be moping around. But that's because I have no idea what the fuck to do. I got the call sheet. My name's not even on the call sheet. I don't know whether I should go to the set or not. Nobody's driving me, so I texted the producer, and apparently there's only one producer, which is whack. In the USC thesis film, there are like 50 something people in the crew, and there are four freaking producers. This set has 136 crew members, and it's got one producer. There's also a co producer, there's also a line producer in UPM, So I guess that's the team, but it's still just one dude as a producer, which is wild. So I texted him asking, "Hey, do you know if anyone can drive me there?" And he's like, "What's your address?" And then after maybe half an hour, he said, "How about you just Uber there? We'll reimburse you." And I'm like, "Fine, I can do that." And I'm not even on the call sheet, which means that if I don't show up, it's actually fine. But I'm really interested because we're filming in LMU. I've been to LMU once, and it's a nice little big area, so it's not bad for a set. Tomorrow they're filming in an apartment, which I don't really think it's going to be an actual apartment. I think it's going to be a soundstage. Um, but anyways, I kind of want to go, so I'm going to call an Uber now, and I'm actually going to leave, and I'm going to go to Ralph's on Friday, I guess. So that's that. All right, I'm at LMU. I'm like 40 minutes behind call time. I need to walk all the way to the Coffee Bean, wherever that is. Fuck. Really don't know where I'm going. I'm just following my map, my Google map. Okay, there we go. That's gotta be it. I don't know. I'm so confused. I just met the sound mixer and a woman who might be the second AD. I don't know.
呢個係落啦，落就係咁嘅啫。Going down.
I'm so tired. I didn't know it's gonna be until 4:30 a.m. I thought we're wrapping at midnight. What the fuck? So tired. What? Where's everyone? Alright, time now is 5:49 a.m. in the morning. I have a lot to talk about, but I desperately need to go to sleep right now. So let's do that and I'll continue tomorrow afternoon. All right, time now is 2:20 p.m. on August 10th. So yeah, I slept from 6:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I actually woke up naturally at 12 at noon. I just decided to lay on my bed. I don't know why. So yeah, yesterday was in general pretty weird and interesting, I would say, in a good way. I like having weird experiences. But again, for a long while I thought I'm not going to set at all. Yesterday I thought I'm just gonna chill the whole day once again. Turns out that's not the case. I told the producer that I can't go there because I don't have a car. And the producer's like, why don't you just Uber there? And I'm like, fine. So I Ubered there. Took a whole hour to get to LMU because of traffic. The traffic was really bad. The driver was from Dominican Republic. And because I know that because he hangs like a Dominican Republic flag at the windshield, at the rear mirror. And he did tons of detours and U-turns to try to avoid the traffic. At some point, there was like a T-shaped road where, like a street leads to a bigger road, and there was a red light, and he literally drove into that without making a turn, and his car was diagonal. And every single car was like trying to go that way, and his car was diagonal, and it was like insane. But anyways, at 5:10, I arrived in LMU, and I walked all the way to set. I have no idea who to talk to, where to go. I have zero clue. And this is actually really fucking wild for me to do something like that, because I remember a whole year ago, even when I was going to the interclub council meeting for my community college, I would be like, I can't go because I don't know anyone there, and I'll be super embarrassed. So I have to find someone who I know so that I wouldn't be that embarrassed, like Pepper. But right now I'm doing something absolutely way out of the orbit. I'm going to a whole film set, a whole feature film set, without knowing a single soul. Not even Allegra will be there. So I was just like a confused little birdie at first. I walked to, I got lost a couple times, but at some point I saw the sign saying Isaac, which is the name of the feature film. And then I went in, and I kept following the signs, and I'm lost again. And then I randomly passed by something that looks like a film set. It has a couple brick trucks, and it has some foldable white tables. And I know what's up. I know those white tables. I know what's up. Yeah, and then this black guy came out of nowhere, holding this gigantic cart with 3 like Pelican cases, but these cases are gigantic. They're called Omega cases, I guess. And he's like, are you working in Isaac? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, good. And no, he's like, okay, follow me. And I'm like, do you know if the producers are there? And he's like, yeah. And then we talked a little bit. He's like, oh, so how do you know about the set? What's your role? And I'm like, oh, I'm just a PA. And he asked me, people keep asking me this shit yesterday. Have you ever been on a film set before? Because I guess I'm a PA and I seem so amateurish. But I have been on several film sets before. I'm not an expert, but I have been. His name is Delroy, and he's apparently the sound mixer, the production sound mixer. So that's that. And all these cases are actually sound stuff. And then he had another gigantic tray that I helped him push, where you get the boom poles and everything. So that's pretty interesting. And then we got onto somewhere, and it's called something recital hall, like Mark Recital Hall, where the actual set is. So there are multiple sets. So the one I just went to was actually the old set last night, that they haven't struck. So we're going to this new set, and another guy came in and was like, "Oh, talk to that woman in purple." And I'm like, "What?" Okay, so I went up to that woman in purple, and I think he's some sort of like production team, some AD or something. But I talked to her and she's like, "Do you know where Shun Chao, who is the producer?" And she's like, "What?" "Oh, Shun Chao is in the base camp in the parking lot." And so I'm like, "Okay, so and then someone called me, but I missed the call. But apparently that someone is a production coordinator by the name of Suri. So again, it's the second time I've ever been to LMU, so I'm going with my tuition here. But I walked all the way to the parking lot, really far away, and finally I found several blue tents and like a gigantic SUV and like two more grip trucks there. This production has like 5, 6 grip trucks. They're all over the place. Um, there's another grip truck in the new set where it's an actual grip truck, like with the lighting stuff and the grip stuff. It's pretty wild. So I went there and I was just confused. I stood around and this skinny, maybe in his late 20s Chinese guy came up to me. Enoch? 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 And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, so. And then he introduced me to Suri, the production coordinator, who was a Chinese woman. Half the set is Chinese. And then, and then I saw the other PAs. So there's this guy whose name is Barry, and he's like a skinny, maybe in his mid-20s guy. And I saw his name on the call sheet. And his last name is suspiciously Hong Konger-like. So they asked me to follow Barry and told me to go to the background holding area. A little holding area in the art department of LMU in the quad where a bunch of background actors, like extras, are staying. So that, so essentially the job today is to, like help with the background actors and whatever, even though I actually never did that. So I went there and we spoke in English at first. He's nice about it. He asked me, so how did you know about this set? Blah, 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 blah. And then at some point I asked him, where are you from? And he's like, Hong Kong, And in my heart, I'm like, yes, I fucking knew it. And I'm like, me too. And he's like, I forgot who said, I think I said yes in Cantonese. No, I think I said me too. And then he's like, what? Really? And I said, yes, like, hi, in Cantonese. And then he's like, fuck, you should have told me earlier in Cantonese. So for the rest of the day, we communicated with each other. I think 98% in Cantonese and then 2% in English when we're in front of other people. Also, his Cantonese isn't really fluent. Like, there's a very heavy American English accent. And then I asked him, when did he come to USA? Apparently 2018. So not even that long ago. So it's kind of crazy how, you can spend so much time in the USA and it will just change a lot, like how you speak. You'll lose so much of your Cantonese skills. But yeah, after that, apparently there's crew breakfast and it's actually tacos. So I actually had tacos, and there's this whole tent dedicated to the tacos, and there's a caterer. There are a couple of Mexican guys. So I had some beef and chicken tacos. It was really nice. And then this Russian woman in maybe her late 20s, maybe early 30s, named Delia, came up to me and was like, hey, do you want to help me with a craft? And I'm like, sure. So we spent the next maybe 2 hours trying to move a bunch of crafty stuff from the old set, which is by an auditorium, to a new set. And we went there by car, and then we had a trolley with us, and we moved the tables to the new set. We went back, we moved the coffee machine. I helped cleaning the coffee grounds. Oh my god, this filmmaking in its most basic raw core. So I helped clean the coffee grounds and everything, and then I helped arranging the crafty at the background holding area. I helped find the electricity, blah 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 blah. That got set up, and then for a good chunk of while, I did not have anywhere to go. And that's when I had a couple of very interesting revelations. First of all, the call time is 4:30, and as far as I know, usually the call sheet would tell you when will we wrap. But in this call sheet, I can't tell. So I looked all over the place to see when is the wrapping time, and I saw 12:30 a.m. So I thought, okay, it's gonna be 12:30 a.m. Turns out, it's just gonna be a 12-hour shoot. It's gonna be overnight. It's gonna end at 4:30 a.m. Okay, fuck. I mean, it's not the end of the world because I usually sleep very late, so it's like, okay, but a chunk of my night has just disappeared. Then another thing is, I guess that makes sense though, because lunchtime is 10:30, and if we get lunch 6 hours into the shoot, then normally it's a 6 plus 6, meaning it's a 12-hour shoot. Second of all, apparently this isn't even AFI. It's not like an AFI set. It's apparently it's I mean, the director and the producers are AFI, and I'm sure a bunch of other department heads are AFI, but overall, it's actually just an indie feature film. But it's still huge and way bigger than an AFI thesis film. I mean, the crew has like 135 people. But yeah, it's at the same time, it's not AFI. It's actually some Chinese company, some Chinese production company. So this is just one of those feature films where like they're making a movie in America just to show Chinese people. So that's pretty funny. But I and Barry talk more and more and more, and I begin to find more interesting news. So we exchange Instagrams, and apparently, he knows a couple people. He knows Rachel, who is one of the hidden Hong Kongers. She is my alumni in my community college for film program, and then she went to USC to study film production. She's also an alumni of Peppers for her secondary school. And I've spoken to Rachel a couple times, but I've never actually seen her. Apparently Barry knows Rachel because they were in the same class in Film 31. So yeah, Barry was actually in my community college, which is fucking wild, the connections. And then he also knows Glenn, who is the main actor for John L. short film. Because they met each other in LMU. So Barry went from my community college and transferred to LMU, and then in LMU he met Glenn, who then transferred to USC to be in theater. Oh my god, it's all connected. All the Hong Kongers, it's all connected. And then I asked him if he knows John L. He asked me what's my top 4 movies, and I was like, ooh, okay, interesting. So I actually was honest. I was like, okay, Fallen Angels, Ikiru, Memories of Murder, Hee Hee. And he's like, wow, you're an Asian movie stan. And I'm like, yeah. And he said his top 4 is It's a Beautiful Day by Don Hertzfeld, Fallen Angels, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Arrival by Denis Villeneuve. Okay, this guy has taste. And then I asked him, do you have Letterboxd? And he's like, yeah. Because usually if he asks a question, like, do you have top 4, then it means he has a Letterboxd. And he does, and we exchange our letterboxes as well. And then I asked him if he knows John L, just by chance, because, okay, somehow all Hong Konger filmmakers in LA are, like, secretly know each other. Like, we're all connected somehow. It's one big spider web. And he's like, John L. Yeah. And I'm like, really? Apparently he used to study in DBS, which is something boys' school in Hong Kong, which is this really prestigious school. But he flunked. He got a 2 in DSE Chinese. That's why he had to come here, because not a single university wanted to accept him. But apparently John L. studied in secondary school with him. And that's really funny because his mannerisms are like John L. He's like alt John L. He's like John L. from a different dimension. You know, he's very skinny. And the way he talks, the way he uses English words, the way he looks to the side and like thinks to himself. He's like John L, but I guess less cold. But he doesn't like John L. He doesn't follow John L on Instagram. He unfollowed him because John L was, I guess, at some point in the past, very mean and very, very, ooh, I'm high and mighty, I'm better than you. So that's very interesting. So, another Hong Kong connection made. Also, apparently, there's one of the wardrobe assistants of this set was also a Hong Konger, a girl, in fact. So that's pretty interesting. Um, we had lunch together at 10:30, and it's not bad. It's like a buffet lunch. We got broccoli, green beans, grilled fish, grilled chicken, like roast beef, white rice. There's Greek salad. There's three types of salad. I try to like eat as much as possible because apparently everyone else are getting paid, but the PAs aren't. We're doing it for free, so might as well rob them of their fucking food, you know. But yeah, apparently Barry really hated this set. He said that this set is a disaster. He also said Cuchillo seems like a really nice guy, and the film program of my community college seems really robust. But then I told him, so he only took 31 and he dropped after that. Like he didn't take 32 or 33. So I told him like my experience in 33 and I didn't hold back. I was like, oh, it's terrible. And he's like, wow, thank God I didn't take film 33. But yeah, he said this set was really bad, and he complained that Suri was being like a bitch, like an empress, Qi, who is like authoritarian and doesn't do shit herself. Um, okay, storage space. So, anyways, we pretty much had nothing to do. At some point, he went off to like the film and television building, and we met another friend of his who was like editing a project. And at that point, it was like 11 p.m. or something, 10 p.m. or something. Yeah, we moved to a new set, which is the auditorium. So the old set became like we returned to that again. And then I pretty much had nothing to do. For the most part, I just sat down and looked around. I helped take out the trash, and the trash was spilling, what was disgusting. Um, oh my god, I forgot that I don't have any other pants. I need to do laundry. Yeah, and then I think from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. from 2:30 a.m. to like 4 a.m. I and Barry and another Latino guy helped pack up the base camp, which is fucking the worst part of being a PA. These gigantic tents where you need to pull a ring and then loosen the columns, and then you push it and then you hug it and then you wrap it in a gigantic bag, and I have to do that like 5 times. And I was really sleepy. And then we had to fold these gigantic tarps and move these gigantic chairs, these folding chairs, all these heavy lifting. It's not, come on. It's not I can't do that shit. But I did it, and I was really tired, and I really needed water. And now the real fun begins, but I'm gonna have to clear some storage space first. Alright, well, it's breakfast time at 2:43 p.m. Breakfast from set that I kinda stole. Alright, it's 3:57. I guess let's continue. Where was I? Right, so, yeah, I spent a lot of the day just not doing anything and, you know, just being a PA. But I'm so fine being a PA because somebody's gotta do our jobs. But yeah, you know, it's just not a lot to do other than arranging more crafty and taking out trash, moving shit. I had to move this gigantic stack of metal chairs to a music room, which was very wonky, and that's that. And I had to walk back and forth from the base camp at the parking lot to the auditorium, and it takes like 6 minutes to walk from point to point, and I had to do that 3 times, even though that's totally unnecessary. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I had fun, I guess. Yeah, so um, I thought the wrap was gonna be 4:30 a.m. It's 4:30 to 4:30, right? And then at 4:30, I and Barry and another guy have already like wrapped up the base camp, so there's not much to do already. I thought we're totally prepared to just go home. They kept shooting. And it's like, and then they called the second meal. Which is why I had this breakfast actually. They call it the second meal. And I was like, wait a second. Because we have the 12-hour shooting rule because every 12 hours you have to feed the crew once. If they call a second meal, it means that now they can shoot more than 12 hours. They're going over time, so they're calling it a second meal. And I'm like, okay, what now? So at around 4:50 something, Barry's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna go home. Fuck it. And there's another Chinese guy who was a PA with us, and he's also in the same community college studying film, but he hadn't even begun the 31, 32, 33 journey. He's very funny because he was like, brother is starving. You know, he made a couple TikTok videos where he just randomly approaches white girls and asks them out, and it's insanely embarrassing. And usually those videos are staged. He doesn't stage them. He's doing them for real. And his name is Gary. And he left right after lunch at around 11 p.m. or like 11:30ish. He just dipped and nobody noticed. Nobody noticed that he's gone. He didn't tell anyone. So Barry's like, you know what? I'm dipping. They can't do anything. They can't point a gun to our head or anything. So he just left. And since he's my ride home, I followed him. And I had Suri's walkie-talkie at that point, so I had to give it back to her. So I just texted her, hey, can I give it back to you? And then I just walked away as well. And I feel kind of bad because it's only my first day. But, yeah. So he drove me home. He went to the wrong exit a couple times, but... And then I realized, holy shit, I don't have a ride to set tomorrow. So he gave me Gary's phone number. And I just texted him like an hour ago and I don't have any response. So maybe I won't be able to get to set like at all today, which would be extremely funny. But yeah, essentially there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I really do not know. So I went back home and it was at like 5:45 a.m. or already, and I had to go to the bathroom, take a shower, and go to bed. And by then it was 6:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m. I woke up naturally at 12, and then here I am. I don't know what to do, honestly. I think I'm just gonna edit a college video and then just call it a day. I want to watch Lost Highway by David Lynch, but I don't think I have the time. Unless I don't go to the set tomorrow, even though my name's literally on the call sheet. So I have no idea. But I'm glad I went yesterday because I got to go to LMU again. Probably the last time I'll ever go to the LMU campus. You know? It's so funny, I took a picture of LMU and posted it on my Instagram story, and Thomas immediately replied saying traitor, as a joke, of course. And then another thing is, yeah, if I hadn't gone yesterday, I wouldn't have met Barry, you know, another Hong Konger in disguise. You know, he only knows one other Hong Konger in LMU film, and that guy graduated like long ago. Yeah, there are only so few Hong Konger filmmakers in LA. Like, it's so few and far between. There are like 4 or 5 people in USC. There are like one girl in UCLA. There are 2 people in my community college, but both me and Pepper are leaving anyways. Like, we're also few and far between. Like, there are probably about 20 something Hong Konger film students in the last maybe 5 or 6 years in LA. So, you know, it's pretty wild, pretty whack. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really don't know if I can go to set today, honestly. In other news, I guess if not, then I can go to Ralph's today. Yeah, if I can get to set today, I won't stay until 6 a.m. I'll tell the producers, like, hey, I gotta leave early because I got shit to do tomorrow, when in fact I don't. I mean, I have to watch a movie tomorrow night, but who cares? I'm still gonna say I need to leave early. And then yeah, a couple more things, I guess. Yesterday I DM'd Justin because I wanted to be producer for his short so bad. And I DM'd him, but essentially a good chunk of the conversation went to my short film. So I was like, "Ayo, Cliff told me he showed you my short film," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I watched your short film. I like it a lot. It's so good." And I'm like, "Wow, thank you." Apparently, Cliff and Justin were talking about like short films and how shit they are mostly, and Cliff was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, have you seen Enoch short film?" So Cliff showed Justin my short film, and Justin liked it a lot. He's like, "Oh, it's very ambiguous. I feel like there's a deeper meaning, but I haven't figured it out yet." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the point. Ooh, I'm a genius." And he's like, "Oh, even the end credits are good. Like, how long did you take to edit the end credits?" And I'm like, 30 minutes. Um, yeah, and then I talked about how, like the copyrighted music and the montage, and how I'm like asking to get a license for the song at the end of the end credits, and he's really impressed. And then I asked him, "Oh, by the way, do you need producing help?" And he's like, "Oh, I thought Ariel's the producer already." And I'm like, "What?" Like in the beginning, Cliff told me that I will be the producer, and then Ariel will be the co-producer, and I'm totally fine with that. In fact, I'm happy to co-produce it with another person. And then now Ariel's the producer. I guess Justin doesn't know that there can be multiple producers, but Justin trusts me, but I guess he doesn't trust me completely. So he said, "Okay, I'm gonna talk to Cliff about that first." So he said I'm already a producer. He just doesn't know what kind, because there are executive producers, there's associate producers, there are co-producers, but they all don't mean jack shit, because all producers work overlap anyways. They're just titles. But it's good to know at least I got some sort of role, and then maybe I'll have a meeting with Justin and Cliff and Ariel at some point, and then maybe I'll figure out when exactly I can leave. But yeah, that's that. All right, fuck. Time now is 5:34. So I kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for Gary's text and response. He never texted back. I called him 4 times. He never returned the call. I told both the producers, asking them, like the producer and the co-producer, Shun Chao and Suri, that I'm still waiting for my ride. And Suri told me, "Okay, please come anyways, please come." So I'm like, fine. So I called an Uber. And then I actually changed my clothes. As you can see, I'm in my street clothes and I'm in my glasses right now. Turns out, about 5 minutes ago, Suri told me, "Wait, actually you don't need to come. You can stay." So there's that. Complication solved. You know what? I'm glad I can stay, because goddamn, I'm not ready to stay all the way till nighttime and do nothing but to take out more trash. So yeah, I hope I can still go next week, as long as somebody can drive me there and I can meet more people. But aside from that, I think I'm already very much, pointless on the set. And free lunches, those are great too. So today, in any case, I'll just go to Ralph's, and since I'm in my street clothes right now, might as well leave like 10 minutes later to get to Ralph's. Um, and yeah, I guess plans have changed. Alright, just got back from Ralph's. This is about $60. I got white bread. I got bananas. You know where I'm going with this. I got some toffee apple pie. I'm excited for that, actually, a lot. It's so heavy, I overshot the bus stop by a whole stop, and I had to walk back with these heavy shit. New York thin steak. Okay, this is my first buy. Meatballs, and this thing is really cheap. It's like $6, and 3 meatballs is like 340 calories. This is 4 meals worth of meat here for $6. American cheese, blueberry lemonade, strawberry yogurt. Okay, here are all the veggies. I got some lettuce up in here. I got some chicken broth. Got some broccoli. Got some canned corn. I was gonna get canned carrots and peas, but I was like trying to get creative. Small potatoes, a couple cucumbers. There weren't a lot left, so these 2 cucumbers are kind of terrible. Alright, time now is 12:37 after midnight. I just finished dinner, which is actually a little special. I had rice, and then I fried up some ground beef, which was a, almost disastrous to cook because I wrapped it in plastic wrap, like cling wrap, and I defrosted it in a pot of hot water for like 2 hours. And the whole thing was so defrosted, all the blood water came out and started spilling out of the cling wrap into the plastic bag. So I basically double bagged it, but it was still a mess. I had to take the beef out and like the blood water dripped all over the place, and then I plopped it onto the pan, and the blood water, when they get cooked, they start foaming and turn into brown. That's how you know they're not just regular blood water, but they're actual like blood water from animals, because it's probably like some heat reaction of hemoglobin and cellulose and whatever it is biologically. So I cooked it very thoroughly, and then I added this canned corn and bell pepper thing, which is very much like not for fried rice, but it's more like a Hispanic food thing, I guess. And then I just put rice on it and just fried it together. And then I had garlic broccoli, and that's pretty much it. But I think that's not a bad meal at all. That's not bad. Plus today's free breakfast, I think it's a really good. I didn't have much of a lunch today. It was 4 dumplings and like a pack of biscuits. But I think it works. I think I have reached 2,000 calories no matter what. 2,200. If I hadn't reached it, I'm just gonna eat some ice cream later. Fuck it, you know? But yeah, nothing happened today. But today felt like a broken day because I was prepared for today to be like a whole chunk of the day would be gone. But it turns out it's not. Prematurely, it became like a nothing day, like a very chill day. And I think that's great because now I have a lot of time to work on myself. I was really unproductive today. I didn't know how to pick up the pace again. The day before the shoot, like 2 days ago, I was really picking up the pace and I was really productive. And today, way less. But yeah, that's that. I spoke with Justin a bit on the at Ralph's and on the way home from Ralph's, and again spoke to him more about like just his short film and how we're going to proceed on things, mainly about Thomas, actually. Like, apparently someone told Justin that Thomas is, like, a mean person or, like, spoiled brat, apparently. Acts like a rich white dude. And that's actually very true. Um, and apparently he's already in talks with Ariel, and Ariel told him that somebody started fundraising like 3 weeks before the shoot, which I think is really cutting it close. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I was thinking, damn, like Ariel's already in talks with Justin. Well, to be fair, I'm also in talks with Justin right now, so we're on equal standing. But yeah, a little bit later, Shun Chao, the producer of Isaac, texted me asking me like, "Oh, Gary is here. Where are you? I thought he's driving you." And I'm like, "Well," I texted him and he didn't respond. And then Suri told me I don't have to come. And he's like, "Okay, I guess you went for the wrong number. Okay, see you next week." So that's a done deal. Hopefully that didn't piss them off, but should be okay. They have way worse things to worry about, I think. as producers, PAs usually are like the least of the issues. Um, that's why this production felt scuffed. You know, they didn't have a very proper like rollout. They didn't call for PAs like way earlier. They didn't give me like a Google form or questionnaire. They didn't even give me forms to sign. Like usually if you join a project, you have to sign a bunch of like health forms and emergency contact forms and whatever, volunteer forms, but I don't even need to sign any of that. In a lot of ways this production is kind of scuffed because it's not even AFI. It's AFI related, but it's not AFI at all. So that's kind of hilarious. But hey, a set is a set, you know. At least I got another credit, another call sheet with my name on it. But yeah, essentially there's that. And then nothing else happened today. A little tiny bad news, and that is Michelle couldn't purchase the tickets to Amadeus because the tickets are all sold out, which is really freaking sad. Um, so, yeah. Yeah, so I invited her to watch Phantom of the Paradise and Amadeus, and she's not going to either. But she still really wants to watch a movie with me, so we're thinking of going to watch an Ozu film at the Academy Museum. And we decided to go for Floating Weeds. And I also thought it would be really good because that would be like sort of a birthday hangout, you know. I've just turned 21 and we can hang out. We can legally drink now, actually. So in the US, in Hong Kong, I could legally drink 3 years ago. But yeah, I can legally drink now, so that's pretty cool. That's actually not cool. No, if I drink illegally, that's cooler than like legal. So there's that. But yeah, you know, yeah, I remember Birkin, like when we were in the Korean barbecue restaurant and I was drinking beer. Birkin was like, "Ooh, chill out," you know, like he's never seen an Asian guy drinking alcohol before, and that's from him too because he's Muslim and alcohol isn't haram. But yet he acts like a fucking Chad, and me, who's this skinny idiot, suddenly drinks alcohol, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what is this? Like, reality is being flipped upside down." It's really funny. But yeah, yeah, tomorrow also extremely chill. Given that I went to Ralph today, I don't have to go tomorrow, and I will just watch Phantom of the Paradise, and that's it. Also, goddamn, I need to find an Airbnb like ASAP. I have 2 weeks left. So gotta go quick. I don't think I have a roommate. And also for the oddly changing aircon temperatures, I think it's actually because the aircon is set to change in several times. Like it's set to change to 68 degree Fahrenheit at 8 a.m. It's set to change at 9 p.m. to 72 degree Fahrenheit. There are set changes for some reason. I don't know who set that up, but it was somehow set up like that. That's why it's constantly changing, actually. So, oh well. I don't think I have roommates. I still don't know what free youth means. But I don't think I have a new roommate. That was just a false alarm. I guess that's not really important, but I was trying to write a new list for Letterbox, and I typed in the letter B, and it suggested bruh, like BRUH, and I thought it was really funny, and I took a photo and put it on Instagram, and when I posted it, I thought, oh, this is something that Leslie would like. Uh, because it's movie related, it's funny, it's self-referential, it's a little goofy little Instagram story, and Leslie did like it, so that's that. Her humor is really low. Like if I showed Leslie 21st century humor, she'll probably just be as confused. Like she's too young to know it, and then some people are just too old to know it. You know. All right, time now is 2:46 p.m. on August 11th. So yeah, slept from like 5:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., which is really nice. Really nice. The sleep I needed, basically. even though I actually don't need it. I woke up for a very long period at 12. I don't know why I automatically woke up at 12, but yeah. And then I realized I should sleep more. So yeah, today's gonna be another very chill day. I have nothing to do at all. Um, Last night wasn't very productive at all. I finished watching. By the time I finished watching Lost Highway, it was like 4:30, and I almost fell asleep. I didn't watch any Vinland Saga. I didn't do any research on Airbnb. I realized that I really need to do research on Airbnb like today. Like I'm really pushing it close. So otherwise, I will have 1 week left to find, which is pretty close, honestly. You know, I have 2 weeks, but actually I have less than 2 weeks because I want to start moving. Um, like I don't know. I just wanted to start moving. On August 21st ish. So that means I have like 10 days actually. So that's not very great. So I really gotta like do something today. Yeah, I had a couple of very interesting dreams. I guess one of them is I saw my family, but we were in Qing Dynasty, and everyone was wearing Qing Dynasty clothes. It's pretty weird. Um, and it's very dreamy. I don't know why, but lately I've been having such beautiful dreams. Um, and yeah, back to reality I am. I can't wait to go back to Hong Kong. I really can't. I really want to go out and adventure and go to these temples or revisit these temples. I've always wanted to revisit these temples um, because they're also really nice. Um, and Yeah, I don't know. I just can't wait to eat Hong Kong food again. I just can't wait. Um, yeah, I guess not much else. Today at around I think 10 p.m. I'm gonna leave to watch Phantom of the Paradise by Brian De Palma at the Landmark Newark, which is gonna be awesome. And then I'll just walk back home. Everything's gonna be chill, and that's probably gonna be the last time I'll ever go to that theater. Probably like until after I come back from Hong Kong, but by then I would have moved already, and by then I would have a different like selection of theaters to watch. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to producing with Cliff and Justin. I'm looking forward to whatever the Andrew shoot is. I'm looking forward to going back to CMD one last time. I realized that on September 7th, my birthday, it's also going to be the last time I'm ever going back to CMD, actually. Like, for real. Final time. Like, because September 7th is Thursday, and I have film 5, and then the next Saturday will be September 9th, but I'll be on Andrew's shoot. And then, yeah, so I won't be there then. So September 7th is really it. It's really like the end. And it's such a fitting end for me to revisit CMD one last time on my birthday. I'll also buy myself a really nice slice of cake, a really, really beautiful slice of cake. Maybe on Grubhub or something. I'll order myself a good ass meal. I'll watch a good movie. I think I'll be watching Pather Panchali. And then on September 8th, we'll watch Floating Weeds with Michelle. And then September 9th, got Andrew shoot. So it's going to be a fun little thing. You know, it's going to be fun. Fun week, I hope. Fun week, I hope. Yeah. I'm sure everyone would have forgotten my birthday. And it's okay. I really don't care anymore. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Probably will be the last time I'll ever be here.
Yeah.
Nice. Most of you have seen it before? Who has seen it before? Okay, good mix. Who hasn't seen it before?
If I could live my life at this worthless
Alright, time now is 12:49 after midnight. Just came back home from watching the movie, washed my face and everything. You know what? I'm very satisfied. I really enjoyed the movie. It started off, I didn't like it that much, but as it goes along, I'm liking it more and more and more. So it's slowly becoming one of my top 100 favorite films. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, nothing happened today. It's very peaceful day once again. Very unproductive again. I just find myself being stuck today for like 2-3 hours. Is that a fly? Come on, what the fuck? There we go. Today, after I woke up for like 2-3 hours, I find myself being obsessed with how many Hong Kong films ever got into Cannes Film Festival. And not necessarily Palme d'Or and like Un Certain Regard, but also like out of competition films and short films and camera d'Or and director awards. And I realized that aside from one short film in 2021, which actually won, Hong Kong has never won a single award in the last 20 something years. And that short film in question isn't even really a Hong Kong short film. The production company is Hong Kong, but everyone involved are Chinese. And then there are so many films that are out of competition, and they're not even that successful or well known. So it's kind of a shame, and I just keep fantasizing like, wouldn't it be so fucking cool if one day in the future I could make a film in Hong Kong with a Hong Kong production company with a majority Hong Konger crew, I myself being a Hong Konger, with story set in Hong Kong, it's in Cantonese, and it's submitted to Cannes, and if I can get nominated for Palme d'Or, it's already fucking great. If I can win one, that'll be historical, because a Hong Kong film has never won a Palme d'Or before. And I know Palme d'Ors, Cannes Film Festival in general, are very catered to Europe, but at the same time, it's trying so freaking hard to be international. I mean, Shoplifters got a Palme d'Or, Parasite got a Palme d'Or, and I know France has been winning Palme d'Ors again and again, but because it's Cannes, still, I want Hong Kong to win one. So I really need to make that happen. But anyways, I was stuck thinking about that for hours on straight, and then I continued to do my shit, album reviews, whatever, and then slowly I realized it's time. I quickly made myself dinner, quickly ate it. It's more Japanese curry rice. I'm beginning to be sick of it again. And to think that I need to try the Coco Ichibanya at least once before I leave is kind of wild. So we'll see. But yeah, good movie. I enjoyed it. Tomorrow I'll be meeting Michelle at Westwood. So that's going to be fun. No news on Justin's short film. No news on Keys. I got nothing really, other than to take care of the moving and the Airbnb and stuff like that, which comes in two parts, by the way. One is I need to find a storage warehouse. Two is I need to find an Airbnb. And at the same time, I need to start strategizing how I should pack up all this shit. So I'm gonna, I guess, open a Google spreadsheet and just inventory everything I have once again and really figure out how am I going to arrange everything, because this is going to be wild. I guess I'm going to have to ask Cliff on how he moved as well. To be fair, he probably doesn't even have that much stuff, but I have a whole empire here right now and I have no idea how the fuck am I going to move it. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, not much else. I still think of her. I honestly think I went too fast. Even though I and her are extremely intimate at some point, more so than like me with Pepper, more so than me with anyone else. I feel like I don't really know her that much yet. Like, she's never outwardly asked me if I have siblings. She doesn't even know if I have siblings or not. She doesn't even know, like, what's my past, who I was, what's my goal in life. Like, we never even got to that part. I've never told Leslie how I wanted to change Hong Kong and like bring cinema, like bring back Hong Kong cinema, and that's like my life goal. I never told her that. But that's so essential because for the last, I guess not counting the shoot and everything that happened after, for the last 30 days of our relationship, well, I guess it sort of counts. Like from May onwards, I never got the chance to actually just chat with her about anything. I've never even asked her all that much about how life is like in Shenyang, I have never really gotten the chance to do that. And she's never really gotten the chance to ask me how living in Hong Kong and speaking Cantonese is like. I mean, Justin talks to me about, how Cantonese is like because he really likes Cantonese because Wong Kar-wai. Everyone only has one reason to learn Cantonese. It's to sound like a freaking Wong Kar-wai character. And that's silly because if anything, if you learn Cantonese, you'll just sound like a drunk idiot. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, in a sense, she isn't ready to have a relationship. And for me, my problem. So for her problem is she's not ready. She's not freaking ready. She's in a way sick of love and so focused on like filmmaking and just being alone that she's not ready to commit. My problem is that I was too fast for some reason. Usually I'm really slow, but I was really on a high, like a power trip. I was really, really going really fast, really hard. Like, after the confession, I didn't even talk to her that much. It's just the confession really emotionally overwhelmed her. And then after that point, it's always, me, you, why are you treating me like this? Like, I'm just going too freaking fast. We never got the chance to actually sit down and have a chat. Like, she never got to ask me if I have siblings or not. She never asked me what's my favorite color. I mean, I did tell her at some point, but that was like forced, there's so many things I could be telling her, if we could just sit down and have a chat and drink, I don't know, alcohol, coffee, whatever. I feel like things would have gone a little differently, maybe. Maybe she still wouldn't have been ready, but the situation could have been a bit better. Maybe in an alternate universe where she's still just as occupied to be a filmmaker or do like filmmaking, not be a filmmaker. But I go slower and I'm more like, that's with me and Thomas is like I and Thomas have chemistry, but I don't really like the guy. But the reason why we work well together is because I know how he thinks and know how he works. So if he doesn't like something, he just, I know that he wouldn't like it, and I'll just go along with it. I'll play along with him. That's why we gel together. And that's called, like a balance, And then I can fight back on things. Like Thomas really hates people messing up his Tesla, which is so stupid, but then I would fight like, hey, come on, like I know how to handle him. But for Leslie, it's like it's more of a battle between her forcing it onto me and then me forcing it onto her, and we're both forcing it onto each other, but in very different ways. Like I really wanted, like even before, like when we had to write Breathless together, I had to keep reminding her that, hey, I want to write Breathless with you. But she keeps on forgetting because she doesn't even think of it that much. Either that or she's scared to say the first thing, when I should have just waited, or at least be so much more subtle with it. And then like I never really got to like feel the sense of rhythm of how she thinks, the way she acts. I never really got the chance, actually. That's the thing, you know. I feel like the next girl I meet, I really need to know her rhythm first. Really need to know, and every person's different. So maybe this, you know, oh, you know, I force myself to you, and you know, I'm gonna go forward. You know, let's hang out. Let's do something together. Maybe that works on somebody else. That may work on Ariel. That may work on Silali, but you know, different people have different rhythms, unfortunately. So I really need to get a feel of how she moves first, her rhythm, like how she moves socially. Um, you know. But yeah, you know, it's fuck it. It's too late. I hope she regrets rejecting me. I hope she regrets rejecting me and thinks that maybe there's still a chance because I'm going back to CMD just to realize that I'm not going back to CMD and it actually is it. Now that's the greatest like fuck you, I guess. But it's a good thing, you know, again, like I want my first one to be a Hong Konger anyways. I feel like me suddenly wanting to date a Chinese girl is like me going haywire, and that's so limited because everyone in America or at least in LA is like, you know, whatever race, whatever ethnicity, whatever cultural background, it doesn't matter. But to me, it sort of does. I feel like I'm only ever going to like fall in love with Asians anyways. Like it's not even like because I have prejudice. It's just I'm biologically and psychologically attracted to Asians more, and not Asian Americans, just Asians. But yeah, I want my next one to be a Hong Konger anyways, so you know, that solved a lot of issues. But yeah, you know, that's that. I don't actually have anything to talk about. I just imagine like if I go back to Hong Kong and I have a lunch or a dinner with Natalie or Cedric again, like the stories I can tell this time. Because round 3 for me is so much like even crazier than both rounds 1 and 2 in a way. Like how many Hong Kongers get the chance to go to a Mexican family cookout or get to collaborate with a black girl on a revenge plan against a middle-aged Mexican guy, or fall in love with a Chinese girl and almost like have a like like almost dating, you know, so close. It's crazy how far I've gone, you know, and I think that's like a bit of an achievement in and of itself, you know. I don't know. I don't know. It really puts, I guess, the past into perspective. You know, how will Natalie think of me now? How will Cedric think of me now? You know, so yeah, there's that. All right, time now is 12:08 afternoon on August 12th. Yeah, I slept from 5 a.m., 5:10 a.m. to 11:45, 11:50. I woke up by the alarm at 11, went back to bed because I'm too lazy. At 8:40 a.m., suddenly I hear a lot of Spanish speaking outside of my room, and at 8 fucking 40. That's not normal hours, isn't it? Like some people are still asleep usually. Like if you want to come clean, do it at 10. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. But there were some really intense Spanish speaking, and it appears that she doesn't she's not aware that there's a human being sleeping. And I thought, okay, it's probably like 11 or something. Because I looked at my clock and it says 7:40 and my clock is actually an hour earlier. It says 7:40 and it took me a while to like see the number, so I was like doing this and I thought it says 1 and I'm like, oh wow, it's already 2:40 p.m. What the fuck? And it turns out it's a 7, not a 1. It's a 7, so it's 8:40 something a.m. So that's really fucking stupid. That 3.5 hours later, some Latina would break in and just clean up. It's just crazy how people are breaking into this apartment constantly. So fucking stupid. But anyways, that's that. So today's gonna be fun as hell because I'll be meeting up with Michelle I'll be meeting up with Michelle. We'll be chatting, talking, I guess, in Westwood again for the third time. I think if anything, I'll bring her to Mr. Rice to try Chinese food. Um, and then maybe we'll walk around UCLA and just talk, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what interesting things we can do. LA is such a boring place, unfortunately. Um, and then maybe I'll hang out with Tom's tomorrow. I don't really know. I don't want to wake up early again. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I don't think I'll film a review. Maybe I will. I don't really know. Um, oh my god. Okay, well. But, yeah, essentially, there is that. Still no news from Justin Short. I can't really confirm when exactly I can leave if I don't know when will Justin Short take place. Because Justin said, oh, I'll film the short film by the end of this month in August, but truth be told, like, come on, we have like 2 weeks left and then August will be over. I don't think that's enough time for pre-production. I don't think so. It depends on what the script is. If the script calls for a big budget, then we'll do fundraising. And that's gonna, I don't know, take how long. If it has crazy ass locations, then that's gonna take some time to scout those locations. So I really don't know. I can't gauge when I can leave. I've been going through some Airbnbs last night, right before bed. And wow, it's really difficult to find an Airbnb that has private bathroom and that has in-unit washer and dryers. It's really, really goddamn difficult, actually. They're really rare. Yeah, I found my old Airbnb from March and I was like, ooh, I could live in there again since I was there. And then I realized, oh yeah, the washer and dryer is literally like 2 minutes across the dirt and dust. Like, I would rather die than do that again. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's really tough. I really don't know how to handle the whole public storage thing. Um, kind of don't know how to do that. And I have to find a day to go to Home Depot. It's still a very messy procedure, like moving out. It's like impossible. It's like an impossible task. I just have no idea what to do with that. So, yeah. Yeah, but aside from that, yesterday was a little more productive near the end of the day, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Wait. I. This is where the fraternity houses are.
All right, time now is 10:30 p.m. I'm gonna have lunch, have dinner now. Yeah. Let's talk about today a little bit first. I'm actually really hungry, but I don't want to cook. I don't want to eat food right now. I just don't really have the motivation to do anything right now, actually. But yeah, I met up with Michelle today. We were gonna meet up at 1:30 p.m., but Michelle was caught up in something, and then I suddenly had a stomachache. I ended up meeting her at around 2:20 p.m., and I took her to Mr. Rice, the noodle restaurant in Westwood, and we had noodles there. And it's another, like, one of those weird situations where she's the only non-Chinese looking person there. But we ordered noodles and we sat there for like a whole hour and we talked about movies for the most part. I was way less awkward because I guess I'm just used to hanging out with her in real life now. But yeah, and then after that we just walked and talked. We went to UCLA, we walked a little bit. She wanted to go to the UCLA film department and we kept walking and she got lost and I was like, I'm pretty sure that is in the north of the campus. And she's like, nope, trust me, follow me. And then she kept getting lost. And then at the end, we gave up. And we just sat at this bench at the side, and we just talked for another hour. This first generation Hong Kong American friend of hers FaceTimed her for about 5 minutes. And then we walked and talked more, and then at around 5 something p.m., she called an Uber back home. And I was too tired, and I also felt hot. So I don't want to walk back home. So I just spent $1.1, took a bus, went back home. That's it. We didn't talk that much about anything that crazy. I guess we just spent most of the time talking about movies. And I told her, like, hey, next time we hang out, we should hang out at the Criterion Closet. Like, I'm sure we'll have a very swell time. And she's like, oh yeah, yeah, I really wanted to do that too. We talked about Betsy a little bit, Film 33, about Betsy received the new syllabus for Film 33 because of Cliff, and I guess Cliff received it because of Cuchillo himself. I don't really know, but there are some weird additions to the Film 33 syllabus that caught Betsy's eye. But either way, I gave up. I'm not gonna be involved in the next Film 33 at all. I'm just gonna go back to Hong Kong. I'm really excited about going back home. Really am. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else. So after I came back home, um, after I came back home, I I don't know why. Maybe I'm tired, but I had zero motivation to do anything. I don't want to do anything, and I just sat there and I just listened to music, and I'm not interested in doing anything at all, for some reason. Um, I don't want to cook. I don't want to edit videos. I just want to do nothing. I just felt this unease. I don't know why. So I ended up not doing anything. I don't know, but I guess I'm gonna go cook now because I am hungry as fuck. Um, wow. This video has only been 3.5 minutes long. Sheesh. I and Thomas will hang out tomorrow. Next Sunday I'm not free because I got Andrew's shoot. And then next Saturday I am free except Thomas cannot because Thomas will return his car next Saturday. So tomorrow will probably be the last time I and Thomas will ever hang out ever. So we'll see. We'll have lunch together. We'll visit the Huntington Gardens. It's gonna be great. So yeah, low key excited, I guess. I still have no response. Not no response. I still have mixed response from the Airbnb folk. So this morning, last night at 2 a.m., I basically messaged 6 Airbnb hosts, and all of them got back, but 2 of them turned down, saying that, oh, these dates aren't available. And then I I yeah, and then a lot of these Airbnbs don't even have in-unit washers and dryers, and that's fucking horrible. So I really don't know what to do with that at all. I guess I'll just look for the right one, even if I have to pay more. It's just 1 month of rent. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. Um, but yeah, it really hinges on Justin Short. If Justin's short film goes until September 20th, then I have to leave later. I don't know. I just need Justin or Cliff to give me an answer on when will the short shoot happen, and then that I will know when will I leave LA. Then that will let me know when are the dates of my Airbnb. That will literally solve everything. It all hinges on his short. So yeah, I really don't know, man. There's a lot of uncertainty. I don't even know when Cliff wants to watch Old Boy with me. I really want to watch it with him. And that heavily impacts the dates next week for me to go to the Isaac film set. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go cook myself some steak, potatoes, and salad right now. And then that's it. That's all. That's all for today. Nothing else. Not much else. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this, but Leslie took a bunch of photos of Crystal at the Venice Beach today. They look pretty nice, I guess. That's it. Um, yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I still have no idea how the hell am I gonna move all this in my room. But I will figure out a way, and I really fucking look forward to go back home. I really do. Really want to just go home and do solo adventures. If I go home, I can buy a phone. If I go home, I can buy a laptop. If I go home, I could do so many things. Eat good food. I can try sushi roll. For fuck's sakes. I want to do that, you know. I want to visit the Palace Museum. Yeah, you know, if I go home, many interesting things could happen. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Not many interesting things will happen. Maybe nothing interesting will happen, but that's okay because I'm at home. Um, and yeah, I really don't know what to do with anything, with life in general. I just hang out with Thomas, blah 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 blah. Blah. I don't know. I really don't know. Fuck. Oh well. Alright, time now is 2:33 a.m. Had dinner, had a half an hour phone call with mom. I'm really unproductive. So fucking unproductive today. Holy shit. Did nothing, I think. Yeah, so more thoughts on moving. It's still crazy and scary. Like, I've moved so many times. I should be like a veteran by now, but yet the idea of moving all this shit is just wild. It's just fucking wild. So here's my plan, right? I'm going to do this extremely strategically. When in doubt, strategize. I'm going to open a new Google spreadsheet. I will inventory every single goddamn fucking item I ever own. I'll inventory them all. Meaning that I'll write down everything I own and I have. I'll write down all the food items. I'll plan out my remaining days, meal plans, right? Number one. Number two, I will start planning out dates. Now, tomorrow I'll ask Justin or Cliff, when does he think he'll shoot it? But it's likely that I will leave by September 21st or the 22nd. And I'll book the Airbnb from August 22nd to like September 22nd-ish. So, yeah, still not a lot of options. Out of the 6 Airbnbs, one of them didn't respond. 2 of them said, I'm sorry, it's booked. So 3 left. And both of them are also, no, one of them is shared bathroom, and then the other says that there's washer and dryer, but it's not a unit. And the last one is Mac and Moon, exactly the couple who I contacted back in March last year. They did not specify if it's in-unit washer and dryer, but good news is it's private bathroom. So maybe I can make a sacrifice. Yes, washer and dryer outside of my room is fucking terrible. And I will kill myself then to do that. But what if I don't? What if I actually just accept my fate? Yeah, and it sucks. But honestly, I think my biggest issue is really the shower towels and the pajamas. I'll wash the pajamas once. Street clothes, I can wash it outside of my apartment if it's all indoors. I hate dust and stuff, and I don't have a laundry basket. But yeah, and then as for the storage, now I should worry about the Airbnb more so than the storage, because the thing is, with the storage, I can go back, even when I stay in the Airbnb, I can still keep going back to the storage to put things in. So storage shouldn't even be that huge now. For all I care, I can move everything to the Airbnb first and then start moving to the storage. Because the thing is, after I move to an Airbnb, I still need to live for 1 more month, live a normal life. Meaning that a lot of the stuff I have will still stay being here. So honestly, the thing with the storage is that it's going to be a back and forth thing, and that's okay. But at some point, I'll go to Home Depot twice. One, to check the boxes. be familiar with Home Depot. Second time, to actually buy the boxes in the plastic bags. I'll inventory everything, and then I'll figure out how many boxes I need. I'll figure out how I will inventory everything and store everything. And then finally, before I actually leave, I will figure out what to bring back to Hong Kong and what not to bring back. So that's the strategy so far, and I shall focus on that. There we go.